Welcome to IELTS CELPIP Master Prep, your trusted source for real exam-based practice tests. Every test you see here is inspired by current exam trends, and each one comes with full model solutions to help you master every section. Here's our daily schedule. IELTS tests drop every morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, and CLP tests every evening at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. No matter which exam you're preparing for, we've got you covered every single day. Are you ready for today's test? Give it your best shot and comment your score. The top 5 scorers will be featured in our monthly Achievers newsletter and awards. Want your name included? Let's begin.
Part 1. You will hear a woman calling a healthcare clinic to book a new patient appointment. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 10. Good morning, Lakeview Family Health Clinic. This is Kevin speaking. How can I help you today? Hi Kevin, my name is Priya Sharma. I just moved to Brampton from Calgary about 3 weeks ago, and I'm looking to register as a new patient and book an appointment with a family doctor. Welcome to Brampton, Priya. We'd be happy to help you get set up. Just so you know, we currently have 2 physicians accepting new patients, Dr. Elaine Fournier, who's available on Mondays and Wednesdays, and Dr. Robert Chin, who sees patients Tuesday through Thursday. That's great to hear. I actually have a bit of an urgent concern. I've been having recurring headaches and some dizziness for the past 10 days, so I'd prefer to see someone as soon as possible rather than just a general checkup. I'm sorry to hear that. Given your symptoms, I'd recommend booking with Dr. Chen since he has a background in internal medicine and could do a more thorough neurological screening. His earliest opening is this Thursday, April 16th, at 2:45 in the afternoon. Thursday at 2:45 works perfectly for me. I should mention that I'm also on a medication. I take topiramate 25 milligrams daily, that was prescribed by my previous doctor in Calgary for migraine prevention. Thank you for letting us know about the topiramate. We'll note that in your file. Now for registration I'll need a few things from you. Could you please confirm your Ontario Health Card number? If you haven't switched over from Alberta yet, your Alberta card will work temporarily for up to 3 months. Right, I actually just received my Ontario Health Card last week. The number is 7429-816-350. And my date of birth is March 7th, 1989. Perfect, I've got that recorded. And could I get a phone number and email address for appointment reminders? We send a text reminder 48 hours before your visit, and an email confirmation right away. Sure, my cell is 416-555-0178, and my email is p.sharma89@gmail.com. Oh, one more thing. Do I need to bring anything specific to the first appointment besides my health card? Good question. Please bring your health card, a photo ID such as a driver's license, and if possible, any medical records or a referral summary from your previous doctor in Calgary. If you have a list of your current medications and any known allergies, that's extremely helpful too. Also, we ask new patients to arrive 15 minutes early to complete some intake paperwork. 15 minutes early, so that would be 2:30 then. That all sounds very manageable. I do have a penicillin allergy, so I'll make sure that's on the forms. Thank you so much for your help, Kevin. I really appreciate how smooth this has been. You're very welcome, Priya. So to confirm, you're booked with Dr. Robert Chin on Thursday, April 16th at 2:45 p.m. Please arrive by 2:30. We're located at 312 Queen Street East, Suite 205, right above the Shoppers Drug Mart. If you need to reschedule, just give us at least 24 hours notice. We look forward to seeing you. That is the end of Part 1. You now have some time to check your answers to Part 1. Part 2. You will hear a tour guide explaining the history of a Canadian landmark, the Rideau Canal in Ottawa, Ontario. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 20. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 20. Welcome, everyone, to the Rideau Canal, one of Canada's most treasured landmarks. Construction of the canal began in 1826 under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel John By of the Royal Engineers. It was originally built for military purposes, specifically to provide a secure supply route between Montreal and Kingston in case of an American attack. The canal stretches approximately 202 kilometers and took 6 years to complete, finishing in 1832. Tragically, around 1,000 workers, many of them Irish immigrants, lost their lives during construction, mostly due to malaria outbreaks in the swampy terrain. Now, the canal passes through a series of 47 locks, and the ones right here in Ottawa are the most photographed. In 1925, the canal was transferred from military control to Parks Canada, which still manages it today. What really put the Rideau Canal on the world stage was its designation as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2007. It was recognized as the best preserved example of a slackwater canal in North America. And of course, every winter, a 7.8-kilometer section right here in downtown Ottawa is transformed into the world's largest naturally frozen skating rink, attracting nearly 1 million visitors each season. Please stay together as we walk toward the first lock station. That is the end of Part 2. You now have some time to check your answers to Part 2. Part 3. You will hear a conversation between two parents and a school counselor about their child's education options. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 30. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 30. Thanks for coming in today. I've been reviewing Maya's grade 8 results, and I'd like to discuss her options for high school. Of course. We've been thinking about this a lot. Maya mentioned she's interested in the French immersion program at Westbrook Secondary. Right, but I'm a bit worried. Her French marks have been decent, not outstanding. Would she manage the full immersion course load? That's a fair concern. Her French is at a B+ level. Students don't need to be perfect, but they do need strong study habits, which Maya definitely has. She's also been looking at the arts-focused stream at Elm Ridge. She loves drama and visual arts. My hesitation with Elm Ridge is the commute. It's across town, and she'd spend over an hour on the bus each way. I understand. One option many families overlook is the integrated arts minor at Westbrook. She could stay in French immersion and still take 2 arts electives per semester. Oh, I didn't realize that was possible. That sounds like a good compromise. Would those electives count toward her high school diploma requirements? Absolutely. They satisfy the compulsory arts credit in grade 9, and become optional credits after that. Either way, they appear on her transcript. What about the application deadline? I think we're running out of time. Yes, that's been stressing us out a little. The deadline for both programs is April 30th, so you still have a couple of weeks. I can send the forms home with Maya tomorrow, and we can meet again next week to finalize everything. That is the end of Part 3. You now have some time to check your answers to Part 3. Part 4. You will hear a discussion on mental health and wellness support systems in Canada. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40. Welcome back to Health Policy Forum. Professor Blackwell, your recent report argues that Canada's mental health support systems are fundamentally under-resourced. What's the core problem? Thank you, Catherine. The central issue is fragmentation. We have provincial health plans, community organizations, and private practitioners all operating independently. Patients often fall through the cracks because there's no coordinated pathway from crisis intervention to long-term recovery. Wait times for publicly funded therapy can exceed 8 months in some provinces. Some critics say digital mental health platforms could bridge that gap. Do you agree? Partially. Apps and virtual counseling have improved access, particularly in rural and northern communities where therapists are scarce. However, they can't replace sustained, face-to-face therapeutic relationships, especially for complex conditions like PTSD or severe depression. What about the role universities play? Campus counseling centers report being overwhelmed. Absolutely. Post-secondary institutions are seeing unprecedented demand. The solution isn't merely hiring more counselors. Universities need to embed wellness into their academic culture, peer support networks, mental health literacy courses, and flexible academic policies that acknowledge psychological distress. You've also highlighted workplace mental health. How should employers contribute? Employers must move beyond token wellness programs. Evidence shows that psychologically safe workplaces, where employees can discuss struggles without stigma, reduce absenteeism by up to 30%. Mandating mental health training for managers would be a strong first step. Finally, what single policy change would have the greatest impact nationally? Without question, integrating mental health fully into provincial Medicare coverage. Canadians shouldn't need private insurance to access a psychologist. Until therapy is treated like any other medical necessity, we'll continue to see preventable suffering on a massive scale. That is the end of Part 4. You now have some time to check your answers to Part 4. That is the end of the CELPIP listening test. You now have some time to transfer your answers to the answer sheet.
Before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with other test takers, and subscribe so you never miss your daily IELTS and CELPIP tests. Drop your score in the comments. Your name could be featured in our monthly Achievers newsletter. Stay consistent, stay focused, and keep leveling up with Master Prep.